everyone! This is going to be about YouTube's fancy new restricted mode, specifically how it's targeting LGBT plus content unfairly and without grounds. I originally wasn't going to make this video, said every vlogger who goes on to make a video about the topic in question, unless I had something novel to add, and for a while I thought I didn't, but it turns out I do! For those unfamiliar, YouTube recently rolled out its new restricted viewing mode, which aims to protect children and families from potentially mature content. Commentators on this debacle a few days back consistently used words like inappropriate or harmful when talking about the type of content that was screened out on restricted mode. But as of the last time I checked, March 22nd, after YouTube addressed and responded to the community's dissatisfaction, the exact verbiage is that the mode screens out mature content. Mature, how conveniently vague and diplomatic, I suppose? Seeing as a significant amount of LGBT plus videos disappear when the mode is enabled, I guess that makes queer people mature, which is arguably less overtly offensive than calling us inappropriate or harmful, however, still kind of messed up. After all, straight people have a sexual orientation, but no one is flagging them as mature. What's the difference? To me, mature in the context of restricted mode means perverse, kinky, controversial, and undeniably something the mode thinks is not suitable for children, which feels like LGBT plus in that sense is pedophilic. Blech. So as many before me have pointed out, labeling queer topics as mature is undeniably problematic, inaccurate, and hurtful. At one point, my entire channel was blocked on restricted mode. Apparently, me, as a person, isn't suitable for children. Don't tell my future kids, I guess. But let's give some credit where credit's due. YouTube did release a statement addressing the community's negative response to the new mode where, in my opinion, they essentially said, "We hear you, our bad, we'll change things." So rather than only rag on YouTube, I want to offer them up some encouragement and gratitude. Thank you, that's cool. Although I've yet to see many changes implemented, all I can really do at this point is take YouTube's word for it and hold them accountable if they don't follow through, which requires waiting. In the meantime, though, let's talk about how YouTube's poorly designed restricted mode unfortunately reflects a lot of society's attitudes towards LGBT plus people. Rowan Ellis made a phenomenal video about how there seems to be this underlying belief that queer things need to be distanced from youth for some reason. She argued that this is clearly illustrated in today's trans bathroom controversy. It often sounds like the main defense against letting trans people into public restrooms is think of the children. But why? Children are pretty innocent and oblivious. They usually go to the bathroom because either 1, they have to pee, or 2, their parent has to and doesn't want to lose track of them. Kids aren't scanning the facility to see who is cis and who is trans. That's insecure adults, and their think of the children defense is projecting. Yep, Ash Hardell here, calling uptight, ignorant parents out on their bullcrap. As for high schoolers who might be more perceptive and curious, participating in conversations about the complexities of gender and human rights is a healthy thing for them to be involved in. These are issues teenagers should wonder and be learning about as they transition into adulthood. Other popular arguments for distancing youth from LGBT topics include, these are things kids just shouldn't have to be thinking about. Why, they should just focus on being kids. Why force them to make such huge decisions? This ideology makes no sense simply because it is reeking with double standards. When 5-year-old cis Susie says, "I'm a girl and I'm gonna wear a pretty dress," no one questions her. When she comes home from kindergarten and states, "I have a crush on Johnny and we're gonna get married," parents placate her with, "Oh honey, that's sweet," and no one takes the love interest seriously. The reality, however, is that these instances are evidence of Susie developing or expressing an already developed sense of gender identity and sexual orientation. We often don't see it this way though because her identity aligns with the norm. It's still an identity though, one she's thought about on at least some level and one she's expressing. When a trans or gay child does the same thing, however, say if Susie were to mention she had a crush on Marissa, or if Susie were to express that he was a boy, parents would freeze. In a panic, they might sputter out some uncomfortable questions like, "Are you sure? Just be a kid. Can't big decisions like this wait?" Being gay or knowing what gender you are aren't decisions though. Just like it's not a decision to be cis or straight. Who a kid is just who a kid is. Treating straightness like it's no big thing and treating queerness like it's a big decision that should wait until puberty to confront is nothing but a double standard. Especially because sometimes sometimes kids just know who they are. Not because they intensely reflected on their identity at great length over a cup of tea, or because they attended a gender analysis workshop downtown, but simply because they're in their own body and their own mind, and they just have a natural sense of themselves, before they've even heard language like trans, gay, or bi. Many children have some kind of understanding of what their gender is, how they like to express it, and sometimes who they're attracted to. Finally, I think it's important to note that no one, or at least no one I know, is saying that queer content on YouTube should be forcibly shown to all youth in public schools or all people around the world. Sometimes people seem to be averse or defensive towards LGBT+ education because they feel it has an agenda. One meant to make straight kids question whether or not they're gay, and cis kids question whether or not they're trans. Nope. Honestly, most queer content isn't really intended for straight cis people. I mean, if they want to watch it and become educated, sweet, they are welcome to. But much of the queer content out there isn't necessarily meant to be mass consumed. It's meant for the people who are looking for it, who need it, for those who feel alienated or alone. So straight people, you don't have to know everything about queer culture or identity. That's not your job. I know I don't expect you to. But could you at least let resources exist for LGBT+ people out there who want to learn about themselves and their community? Or is that too much too? Because straight people, not everything is about you. An educational video about the beauty and breadth of sexual and gender diversity isn't meant to be a dig at how much you don't know. It's meant to be an exciting learning tool for those it relates to, and for those who want to learn. You narcissistic potatoes. Obviously, when I say straight people, I don't mean all straight people. I mean defensive, closed-minded straight people. If you don't feel like these accusations apply to you, chances are they don't. And if you're a part of my subscriber base, that's probably the case. I think the major takeaway from this video is that whether it's from cruddy new YouTube policies or everyday scenarios in real life, LGBT+ people are still undeniably misunderstood, and we get the short end of the stick a lot. We are an oppressed group. Many people, especially anti-SJWs, are in denial of this. They think millennials are whiny and everyone has it easy, including queer people. But it's my opinion that those people are blinded by privilege and lacking in compassion. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm open to all perspectives, and I'll see you eventually. Also, share this video if you think it's important. Okay, bye. Another thing is, it wasn't just LGBT+ people who got kind of screwed over by restricted mode. A lot of mental health content got filtered out too. Many videos about depression just disappeared, which is, like, sad, no pun intended. Things about body image and racism disappeared, but a lot of like iDubbbz content remained not filtered out, and a lot of like white supremacist things stayed not blocked. Also, a lot of asexual and aromantic things became restricted, which blows my mind because, like, I don't understand how you can argue that asexual things are like more sexual than hetero things, because like by definition they're not. So it just seems like this new technology was just broken. It was just a bad idea, poorly executed, poorly designed. It didn't work. It was bad. Bad. Yep.